Welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got our West Coast Conference tournament predictions. We're doing all 32 college basketball conference tournaments. We're picking every single one, going through the entire bracket for every single conference. So right here on this channel, so make sure you subscribe. If you are new, turn on the noties to make sure you don't miss out when we upload. Monday we uploaded four conference tournament predictions. Yesterday we uploaded 3. Today we're doing 3. The Missouri Valley is already up. Make sure you check that out. We're doing the Colonial after this one. So yeah, it's a very exciting time of the year. As always, my Discord next. There's a link in the description. You can join that. You can follow that. Whatever you'd like to do. But let's just move right into this bracket. So you know how the West Coast Conference does this bracket. It is different from the other brackets. Most other brackets. There is the Ohio Valley does it this way, but besides them, the Ohio Valley and the West Coast are really the only conferences that do the bracket style this way. They give a very, very big advantage to the better teams in the conference. The higher seeds definitely get an easier path. As of right now, I think St. Mary's and Gonzaga should have locked up an at-large bid at this point. So no matter what happens, I think both of them should get into the tournament. Gonzaga was on the bubble for a little bit. They were on the edge. They were on the outside looking in a couple weeks ago, but with a road win against Kentucky, them beating St. Mary's on the road like they did, in the fashion they did, they also picked up a nice win on the road against San Francisco last week. I think as of right now, they should be locked up as around an 8 or 9 seed. I've been seeing them honestly a little bit lower in some bracketologies, and I just disagree. I think they should at least have a 9 seed, but maybe even an 8 or 7. And they're a dangerous team if you get matched up with them as a 1 or 2 seed in the second round, because they've been playing really good recently. So yeah, let's just get right into the picks now. So the 8 versus 9, we got 8 seed Portland taking on 9 seed Pacific. Pacific is 0-16 in conference play. They have not won a conference game. They're one of the worst teams in Division One. They are at the bottom of the barrel in terms of KenPom rankings. They are all the way down at 354 out of 362. So they're a bottom 8 team in the country. And unfortunately, that's just not enough for me to pick them here. I'm going to take Portland. I think they should have no trouble beating Pacific. Now, Portland isn't the greatest team, but they're not, winless in conference play and bottom 8 in the country. Sticking with Portland, we're going to take a look at the 5-8 matchup. San Diego taking on Portland. Now, San Diego is actually pretty low in KenPom. They're the 7th lowest team in this conference in overall KenPom efficiency, which does concern me a little bit for them. I don't know if they can get past this round, if I'm being honest. Now, Portland is below them. They're one of the 2 teams below San Diego. But I think with them getting that momentum win from Pacific, carrying it over against San Diego will not have played for almost a whole week by the time they play. I think Portland carries that momentum in, and I think they get it done. I think they go on a nice little 2-game stretch here in this conference, and they could even continue. We'll see what I do in my picks, but I'm not putting it past them to make a little bit of a run here. I actually like their chances in this one. Now, like I said, they're not the best KenPom team, but you got to take some upsets. So I'm going to go with Portland to move on to the quarterfinals in this conference tournament. Looking down at the 6 versus 7, we got Pepperdine taking on Loyola Marymount. Now, this is an interesting little 6-7 matchup. Pepperdine and Loyola Marymount both heavily specialize in the offensive side of the ball. Both of them, their offensive efficiency is much higher than the defense. Pepperdine sitting at 241 overall in KenPom. They got a 12-19 record, 161 in overall offense, and 320 in overall defense. The defense definitely lags behind. One of the worst defenses in Division One. Loyola Marymount not as bad. They're 144 in offense, 247 in defense. They got a 12-18 overall record, and they're sitting all the way up at 176 overall in KenPom. They got about a 70 spot lead in overall. In KenPom, they're higher in efficiency in offense and defense by a sizable amount, by about 20 in offense and 80 in defense. I'm going to have to take Loyola Marymount. It is an upset, I guess, but the numbers all support this one. So I'll take Loyola Marymount to get it done in this first round matchup against Pepperdine. Moving up to the 4 versus 8, Santa Clara taking on Portland. Portland, my team, making a little bit of a run here. 2-game win streak. Can they carry that momentum in and get past Santa Clara here with a win? Now, Santa Clara is an interesting team. They made some noise to start off the year in November during Feast Week. I think they either beat Oregon or Alabama. I know they lost to Ohio State, but they were in a little bit of a tournament there. They started out like 5-1 or 5-0, and they kind of fell off a little bit. We haven't really heard from Santa Clara since then, but they're not a bad team at all. 19-12 overall record, that 117 in KenPom, which is not. I mean, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse, definitely. They're around teams like Arkansas, High Point, UNC Wilmington, Arizona State, Belmont, Michigan. Teams like that. And Santa Clara by no means is a bad team at all. We, like I said, they haven't really made much noise since the start of the season. But I will take them to knock off Portland. I think their run comes to an end here. I think Santa Clara is just a little bit of a step ahead, a step above of Portland. I think really the top 4 seeds in this conference are just a tier above the rest. And I think there's definitely a tier within that top 4. We'll get to that in a minute here. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to take San Francisco over Loyola Marymount. I just think they're a step above these teams, the top 4 seeds. San Francisco is actually a sneaky team in this conference. I wouldn't put it past them to win this conference and get a bid steal. They're 22-9 overall record, 106 in offense, but 38th in defense. Very intriguing team. They're around teams in KenPom around Virginia, Kansas State, Oregon, Butler, Memphis, UNLV, Ole Miss. Bubble teams, Richmond, on the bubble. They're around those teams, and I could definitely see them pulling it off. I think I would like it better if they played St. Mary's instead of Gonzaga right away. But it is what it is. Maybe it's a better matchup actually, because Gonzaga has the high-powered offense, but San Francisco has the high-powered defense. Maybe that. Actually, I take it back. I think I like this Gonzaga matchup here a little bit more for them in their favor. So I got them moving on to the semifinals. Moving back up to the top, the 1 versus 4, St. Mary's taking on Santa Clara. I don't think Santa Clara really has a shot in this one. I think Santa Clara is definitely the weakest of the top 4 seeds. So I'm going to go with St. Mary's to move on to the conference championship game. Like I said, I don't see a world where Santa Clara comes out with this one. They don't really specialize in anything, so I can't really take them to make a big run here. They're kind of just an average team, really. And St. Mary's is definitely not that. 21st overall in KenPom, 24-7 on the year, 52nd in offense, 16th in defense. That is a very good overall resume for me, so I'm going to take them to move on to the championship match. And they'll play the winner of this 2 versus 3, Gonzaga, San Francisco. Now, talking about this matchup, I kind of am convincing myself a little bit that San Francisco might have a chance here. Now, Gonzaga did just beat them on the road recently, but it's tough to beat a good team twice, and San Francisco is definitely not a bad team. I'd go as too far as say they're a pretty good team. Like I said earlier, 71st in KenPom. They're a very good defensive team, top 40 in that category. Gonzaga, though, 11th in offense, 40th in defense. I mean, Gonzaga's defense is similar to where San Francisco's defense is, and Gonzaga's offense is leagues ahead of San Francisco. So, ultimately, I'm going to have to go with the Zags here, but I definitely wouldn't be absolutely shocked if San Francisco pulls out a win here. But I'm going to take Gonzaga to move on to the conference title game. And then that sets up a championship game rematch from last Saturday. Number 1 seed, St. Mary's, taking on number 2 seed, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Now, St. Mary's took the first one. Gonzaga took the most recent one. So we got a split during the regular season, but I think this is all what we see coming. This is all what everyone wants to see. We want to see Game 3 of this. I feel like they always split every year. And I feel like they always play each other in the conference title game. So, yeah, this is definitely what everyone wants to see, and I think this will happen. I want to see the third game. Who's going to take the series between these two teams? So, let's take a look at it. Gonzaga at 15th overall in KenPom to St. Mary's 21st. So Gonzaga's a little bit ahead there. St. Mary's is 24-7. Gonzaga's 24-6. Like I said, they both beat each other once on the road. They both took the road game. I don't know. Gonzaga at 11th in offense compared to St. Mary's 52nd. So you're looking at it now, you're thinking Gonzaga's gotten all three, but here's the big piece. St. Mary's 16th in defense, Gonzaga at 40th. Now, if you look at their weak and their strong parts, St. Mary's is much more defensive team than Gonzaga. Gonzaga's gonna push the pace a little bit. They like to play fast. St. Mary's is one of the slowest teams in Division One, if not the slowest. They are probably, I mean, according to KenPom adjusted tempo, they are a bottom 5 slowest team. So they want to slow the game down. Gonzaga wants to speed the game up. Two contrasting styles. That's why this game is always amazing to watch. If you look at their strong suits, Gonzaga at 11th in offense, St. Mary's at 16th in defense. There's a 5 difference there. And you look at their weaknesses. St. Mary's at 52, Gonzaga at 40. That's a 12 difference. Gonzaga has the edge in both of those if you're looking at it that way. So Gonzaga's offense is higher ranked than St. Mary's defense, and Gonzaga's defense is higher ranked than St. Mary's offense is. So overall, I mean, it's hard to look past the recent game where Gonzaga just dominated the whole game. I think they go out there. I don't think it's a total domination, but I think they can win this one. I think they take the third game, and I think they lock up a tournament spot. If there was any question, I think they'll come out and win this conference tournament just to make sure they get it done. Graham Ike is doing great. Ryan Nemhard, I don't know why I said it like that, but anyways, you get the idea. I think Gonzaga comes out there a little bit angry, a little bit pissed off that they are getting all this bubble talk, and I think they go out and officially secure a tournament spot, but I think they probably already have an at-large. But San Francisco, don't count them out. They're a sneaky little team, and St. Mary's definitely could win this as well. But I'm going out and taking the Gonzaga Bulldogs to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. So yeah, that's going to do it for the West Coast Conference Tournament predictions. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. We're doing all 32 college basketball conferences, so if you like what you saw in this video, we got 32 more. Some are already out, some are coming. We got 32 more of them coming your way right here on this channel. Make sure you turn on the notifications to make sure you don't miss out on any of those videos. Comment below who you guys are taking, what you guys think. As always, my Discord next are linked in the description. You can join that. You can follow that, whatever you'd like to do. And I will see you guys in a little bit with the Colonial Conference Tournament predictions.